Can everybody hear me okay? All right. I will apologize ahead of time. The allergies have not been my friend. Got a little gravel in the voice, so we'll start with that. But we just want to say welcome. We are so glad to see all of our fellow Petit Electric Co-op members, and we're hoping that this meeting is going to be very informative, kind of get the process going to see where we can go with all the issues. We've heard tons of issues. We completely understand, so we're wanting to take action on those. And so on behalf of the power group, we'll kind of explain that in a moment. We just want to thank you all for taking the time out of your evening to be here. And so we also had some sheets out in the front when you came in. There are two different petitions that are available. One of the petitions is for a full board removal. The other is a petition to add David Cook to the ballot for being able to be a candidate and run for the board in his area, which is the Shirley and Fairfield Bay. And so if you've not had a chance to sign those, make sure you can pick that up and sign that before you leave. There was also a half sheet of paper at the very top. There was a QR code, and if you're not a member of the Petit Gone Too Far Facebook page, that QR code is on there, and that will take you directly there. We would actually love for you to join. And then also there's an email address on there that you're able to use. That way it's for the power group, and we kind of can funnel things down through to the attorney and kind of see what all's out there. So we would ask if you have the bottom portion of that and you want to fill that out and supply contact information for yourself, make sure to fill that out and leave that with us, but then keep the top half so you have contact information for the group, okay? So at this time, I do want to introduce the POWER group, and POWER, it's an acronym for People Opposing Wrongful Electric Rates. And this is a group that consists of your fellow friends, your neighbors, your family. Some of these are actually familiar faces that have been in the news and things recently. So some of them you may recognize from there. But after the first meeting that we had back at the library, none of us knew each other. And so this is a group that we formed because we realized we all share a deep-rooted connection and concern, and not just for ourselves, but all the family, friends, neighbors, our entire community, the entire area that's affected with everything that's been going on. So our drive is to make sure that we are able to seek fair rates and charges, and that we have a reliable electricity. And we realize you can't just complain about a problem and that fix the problem. So we want to move forward, we want to take action. So I will go ahead, I want to introduce the members of the committee that we have present today. And so Jeff Pistol, he's on the far end there, that's Jeff. We have Sherry Monty, she's there. We have David Cook. Patty Bokanoy, she's around. She's not on the stage, but she's around, I saw her earlier. And then I also have Bessie Helms and Lonnie Stripling. Like I say, they're probably two of the more familiar faces. And so I'm gonna call on Bessie first. I'm gonna let her come up and say a few words to you guys, and then Lonnie will, and then we'll continue moving forward.
Hello everyone. Some of you know me. Some of you are just getting to know me, and I'm getting to know you. My name is Bessie Helms. First, I want to say thank you all for coming here tonight. We all have a common goal. We just need our electric bills lowered. That's all there is to it. And Petit needs to do their job and help get us lowered. I grew up here, and I love this community. This is where I wanted to raise my kids and be around people that I grew up with. I, for one, am worried at what's going to happen if Petit Electric Co-op goes unchecked. When I received my December bill, it was just over $800, and I was in shock. But like many of you others, I just paid it and moved on. Didn't really have a choice, so I thought. When I received my January bill at $1,133, it was apparent that something was wrong, something wasn't right. I didn't know how I was gonna keep my lights on. My husband, he's the only source of income in our family. I'm a stay-at-home mom. He had to have a much needed but pricey surgery on both of his hands. So he can't go back to work, or couldn't. Luckily he's gonna get to go back to work pretty soon. I got on Facebook after I got that last bill, and for, I don't know, a stroke of luck, I run across Petit Electric Gone Too Far. And to see everybody on this page that has gone through the same thing I have, or even worse, was just heartbreaking. I was appalled by the stories that I've seen on there. Like many of you who were behind on our mortgage because we had to keep our lights on. And to make that choice between keeping your lights on for your family, or buying groceries, or paying your house payment or your car note is just unbelievable in this day and age. We should not have to do that. I'm having to make payment arrangements that are just continue to add up, not knowing if I'm still gonna be able to make those payments next month. Thankfully, I connected with Lonnie and her sister, who have been a guiding light, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just trying to share y'all's stories and mine. We come up with the committee called Power. And with hope and faith and the support of our communities, we're fighting for that change. And we are stronger together. Thank you all.
Okay, next we're gonna have Lonnie Stripling. She's gonna come up and she's gonna have a little word with you guys as well.
I do have a little note here so I can hit the right points. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lonnie Stripling. I've been on Petit all my life, and if you can tell with his hair, it's been a while. We have the petition out there for to get David Cook on the ballot. If you haven't signed that and you're in the Shirley, Fairfield Bay, it's District 5, please do that tonight. Of course, we have the petition to remove the whole board, and I hope that you've all signed that. We've been in touch with the Attorney General's office, our representatives, our senators, the Arkansas Public Service Commission. So it may seem like that we're being still at times, but we aren't, you know. And if you guys all call, if everybody calls, we'll gain more momentum. We can't rely on the person next to us to do it, or our neighbor will call. We have to do it, all of us. The ballots, they will come in the mail. Make sure you don't throw anything away from Petit, because you do need to vote. And then we have the Petit Electric annual meeting, that's May 25th. We all need to, I don't know what time it is, I haven't found out what time that is yet, but we all need to be there. You know, if we want our voices heard, if we want something done, we all have to show up. We can't wait, you know, and hope that our neighbor does, because then, you know, maybe 2 or 3 people show up. We all need to be there. We're gonna need some volunteers to help us get these petitions signed. We need somewhere between 1,400 and 2,500 petitions signed to remove the board. I would hope we could get like 10,000, you know, everybody sign one. We need to be heard. Let's see. All options are on the table. Our attorney is looking at everything. You know, God bless him, he's working hard to try to figure out how to help us. And the email, if you find anything that you think might be helpful, we don't need electric bills and all that, because we've got a lot of that. But anything that you know, or say you know someone who knows someone, have them email us. And that's at PJE, gone, the number 2, @gmail.com. Let's just keep fighting. You know, everybody keeps showing up, everybody keep calling. Thank you.
Okay, again, my name is Roseanne Vaughn. I'm also in the power group with these ladies and gentlemen here. And I grew up in Cleveland County, Quitman to be exact. I went my entire kindergarten through 12th grade career there. At that point, I did move away, went to Greenbrier for a little while, a little over 20 years actually, but several years ago, I moved back. And yes, I know it doesn't look like I've been gone for 20 years. Look like I'm fresh out of high school, it's okay. But I'm back now. I've been back for several years. I'm back to my hometown. I'm back where my heart lies. And so, coming back, seeing everything that's going on, knowing the sacrifices just in my household alone that we've had to make, the different decisions, the way that we've had to arrange things, whether you want to say go with or go without things, I'm not the only one that's making those decisions, and my decisions are nowhere near as tough as some of the others, just as Bessie had said. When it's down to, do we eat or do we have lights? That's a severe issue, and that's something that cannot be ignored, and it can't be fixed if we don't move forward. So, one thing that I feel we all have in common, we have a passion and a drive for the people that we're around, our family, our community. And that's one reason that we've managed to come together and do what we're doing. And hopefully be your voice, hopefully be able to get something done so that everybody can feel a little bit of reprieve. So with the heart and the passion, or as my husband might would say, my headstrong stubbornness, this is where we're going. This is what our group is doing. We're using our passion, our drive, or our stubbornness to make sure that nobody has to continue to suffer. I actually saw, if you want to call it a meme or a GIF, whatever version you want to put on it, I actually saw it today. It says, if you're worried about the cost of going for it, you should see the price of staying exactly where you are. I thought that was very fitting for the way things are with this situation. We can sit here, we can be good little meek, mild members, accept what they give, move on, or we have the option to do something about it. Move forward and do what's best for everyone, and not just for the immediate moment. This is going to be moving forward, because as everybody knows, the price of nothing goes down hardly ever. From the time you want to look back, even 10 years ago till now, things continue to go up in price, but there's no need for them to go up when it's very unnecessary. With that being said, I would like to go ahead and I want to introduce Mr. David Dixon. He's with the Dixon Law Firm. He has a lot of information that he's going to share, and he's willing. The next person I want to introduce, actually introduced him earlier, but Mr. David Cook. He is one of the individuals on the petition that we have out there. The petition is to add him to the ballot as a candidate for it's the Shirley and Fairfield Bay area. During some of our initial meetings, the power group up here, we realized there was something with him. There's a very extensive level of knowledge and understanding, a process, the heart, the drive, the passion, all the things that you're looking for. And so we collectively, as the group, requested that if he were able, ready, willing, able, all the things, if he was able to do that, we think he would be a perfect candidate. So, Mr. David Cook, if I can call you.
Should probably just let her keep talking. She was doing good. My name is David Cook. For those who don't know me, I moved to Clinton in 2005, and this is the place that I call home. Since moving here, I've seen this community rise up in cases where we've faced adversity, whether it be a natural disaster like in 2008 or in 2013 when parts of the county that were most vulnerable were hit. What I saw was an identity of this community that when we come together, we can make change, and that when we come together, we work hard for our friends and our neighbors. And it's driven me to just about everything that I've done here in this county. This is the place that I call home. And Mr. Shola, mentioned the Senate bill that just ran through the House and the Senate. Just wanted to let you know they did pass it out of the House today. It will become law. And Arkansas is in an energy crisis. We do have to produce. So not everything in the bill was bad, but the parts that concern me are the limited oversight of the PSC, because the PSC is supposed to provide the checks and balances we desperately need. I don't want to sit up here and make a lot of promises, because even if we replace the board tomorrow, we still have $105 million in debt. Petit is right, the members own the co-op, but the members also own the debt. So we have to find a responsible way to pay that out. It's not going to hurt the ratepayers. Like you, I probably got sticker shock in January when I opened up my December bill. It was $777, the highest bill I've ever had. Most of your stories are more heartbreaking than mine. But each of us share a burden. And I know the past few months have been tough on all of us, but I want to tell you today that running for the Petit board was not on my 2025 bingo card. But I only decided to run when people came to me and asked me to step up and be a voice for the people and be a voice for the place that we call home. I've been on the Shirley City Council since 2018, and during that time, I worked with my fellow council members and the mayor to pay off city debt, to relieve our obligations, and to work really hard to make difficult budget decisions to make sure that the city was in a fine, stronger fiscal situation, which we are now. I don't want to make a lot of promises I can't keep, but here's what I will promise. If elected, I will fight for you. I will fight for responsible utility rates that are communicated clearly to you so that there is a level of transparency. I'll bring the same practical leadership that I've showed on the City Council to the Petit board, just to ensure our cooperative serves you, the members that keep it running. I will work for fair and transparent rates. I believe in collaborating with the board to ensure the rate increases are fair, that they're justified, and they're clearly communicated to you, the members. That means keeping up all open lines of communication, not only with the board, but being transparent to the people that elect us. So the Petit board must be transparent, accountable, and responsive to its members. I will push for transparency, and I'll continue to listen to your voice. Even when I don't do things that you like, I will correct my behavior, but I'll be accountable to the members that put me there if elected. Because at the end of the day, this is your voice, it's your power, and it's your cooperative. So I'm happy to work with you and on behalf of our community to make this a better place to live, that's more fair for our ratepayers, and serves the needs of our most vulnerable residents. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cook. We appreciate your words. We appreciate you guys putting yourself out there, being willing to step into a position very much of falling out into the unknown. So we appreciate you guys, your time, your efforts, and what you're willing to do for your fellow family, neighbors, and community members. One last individual that I would like to call up and has a few words to share. They have extremely strong ties to this area in particular. Excuse me. They don't live here any longer. However, like I say, they have very strong ties here. They have family here, they have friends here. This is their hometown, a lot like my situation. Where I came from, that's my hometown. Left for a little bit and I've actually come back. So, but this person, they have deep concerns for their hometown. Very close family members. This individual provides a voice for those. And I've actually spoke with several of you today that have people, whether it's elderly, disabled, whatever their situation may be, you are their voice even though you may not live here. though we still need those voices, especially when we have those that can't stand up, that can't speak, that can't reach out. When you're that person, that's perfectly fine. We'll take it. Because we need all the voices and all the output that we can from you guys. So, this individual has actually been very proactive, very productive. They're very knowledgeable. They've had a lot of input and have assisted very much with the process as far as moving forward. So, Jared Bettner, if I can have you come up.
Good evening. Good evening. I appreciate y'all having me up here. I want to step out and say, I'm not officially a Power Committee member. I know she said I don't live in the Petit cooperative area anymore. I grew up here. Last time I was on this stage was about 12 years ago, taking my high school diploma. And so I grew up here. I try to keep close ties with family, friends who are still here. And anyway, it's been a whole ordeal with the electric rates. And I know a lot of people may see me on Facebook. I keep a very vocal presence on that site. So anyway, I know I've probably got a whole slew of critics out there. And, you can say what you like, but I want to just say most of what I like to provide is solid information that not everybody is quite able to find. There's a lot of public information out there that, government agencies that publish things like annual reports from our local electric cooperatives and information like that can't always be found by the lay person. And so I like to share, relevant information that can help everybody understand aspects of what's going on. And anyway, I think it's great. I see everybody here tonight. And I just wondered, how many folks are from Searcy County? Searcy County, Conway County? Cleveland County? All right. I know there's limited customers over there in Cleveland County, so. But, I know the cooperative covers a large area, larger than just Clinton, Scotland, Denard, Van Buren County, Searcy County, very important too. We'd like to have anybody from up there who wants to be heard, definitely sign petitions and just get involved. I come here straight after work and I didn't have time to go get gussied up. I apologize for that. But anyway, I'd like to say y'all have a very good list of potential candidates for your new board. And just keep up the good work. I think it's great what's going on, and I just want to provide a face to the name, especially people from Facebook. I just want to say, hey, I'm here. I'm not just a profile on the internet. So anyway, y'all are great, and definitely sign the petitions, and tell your neighbors, tell your friends. There's a lot of seats here we can fill, and it's just word of mouth, mostly word of mouth. So anyway, y'all have a great evening. I'm glad with the momentum that started, and I look forward to seeing future change.
Thank you, Jared. Well, just as a final reminder, I would like to, again, the petitions, if there's anybody that can help with getting the petitions out, as Lonnie had mentioned earlier, there's a pretty extensive number of signatures. The one petition in particular that I'm referring to is the one for the complete board removal. So if you are able to volunteer, help get that out, get the signatures on these petitions. If you did not receive the little half slip of paper from the front, you can grab that on the way out. You can fill out the bottom, leave contact information, but that slip above the section where it says detached, there's, again, the QR code to access the Petit Jean Gone Too Far website or Facebook page, and then also the direct email that comes to the power group. And so, if you're able, ready, willing, and able to do the volunteer work that we need assistance with on the petitions, by all means, please, please, please use that, reach out to us. And so, the other thing is, please stay involved. We can't just let this drop. We can't become silent. As long as we don't become silent, this will move forward. We will fight for a resolution. We will fight for answers. We will fight for better, more fair rates for everybody. So, one last thing is, if you haven't signed the petitions, also the petition to add Mr. David up there to the ballot, that one is out there. And so there are boxes at the exit that you can drop any of your completed forms in. If you take them with you, you can always email the email that's I've referred to. You can email that and speak with one of us on there about trying to be able to get that back to us. But just make sure you leave all that. And I want to give a big thank you to Ms. Lonnie. She's the one that started the Facebook group. If she hadn't had a sleepless night and a restless heart, this very well could not have gotten started. But I just want her to know how much she's appreciated and what a big voice you have provided for so many. So, thank you all. We appreciate you coming out. And please continue the fight and use your voice. Do not let this go. Everybody be safe on your way home.
We asked if you wanted to. He's welcome to come up. Come on.
I do apologize if, wait, is he on the way up? Okay, Wade Lucas is gonna come up. I do apologize. I think we had tried reaching out, and I don't know if we missed the communication. So, if y'all will give us just one more moment, we have Mr. Wade Lucas coming up. He will also be, hopefully, one of the names on the ballot, and it's Shirley. It's the Shirley Fairfield Bay area. So, Mr. Lucas.
Yeah, my name's Wade Lucas. I am running in District 5, position 2. But like everybody's pretty well set up here, everything's pretty well covered that needs to be done. And hopefully we can get it done with the change. But I'm not a polished speaker. I come as I am. I got off work and pretty steady every day. This is where I'm at. But I would appreciate the vote. I will try to get in there and make a change if I can, depending on how much you can do. I don't know how far you can get in and make the change, but I'd like to have the opportunity. I've been here since '03. Like the community, we've grown up here. I had 4 kids. They all graduated, some from Shirley, some from West Side. We were kind of spread out, but we ended up being in Shirley. And I've got a farm there on the 16, and I've worked hard for the community, and the community's worked hard for me. I appreciate the support that everybody gives me there. I just try and keep my nose to the ground and hang in there. That's all I know to do. But if I can help make a change, I'll try and put in the time. I wasn't planning on doing this at all, but I've never been involved in politics. Like I said, I'm not a polished speaker. I'm just a guy that works hard. But I was approached over a year ago, right at a year ago, about this was coming up, and I kind of give it a little thought. I was like, well, I don't know if I want to really get involved. I'm already busy enough. You know how it is if you're an owner and operator of your own business. It's kind of hard to find the time to reach out and do that. I mean, it seems like you work pretty steady for yourself all the time to make it all covered, but I kind of hate being in this position now because the way everything's blown up at this point in time, but I figured we're already here. If we can, we'll give it a go and see if we can't make a change with it. But I appreciate your vote very much. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas. Again, we do apologize. Again, thank you for Mr. Scholl, Mr. Cook, Mr. Lucas, all of you guys stepping out of your comfort zone and just trying to go after what's best for the co-op. So. We have the question if they're all running for the same ballot, and that.
There are 3 people running for those 2 positions, other than the guy who's in. But hopefully we'll have him on.
So 2, Shirley and Fairfield Bay?
They're the same district. It's District 5. They're the same district. 2 people from that district.
Yes, 2 positions in the same district are what should be available for the May vote. So.
That introduced tonight, and there's 2 positions that are possible for these 4 that are presenting themselves tonight.
Yes, so Mr. Cook, Mr. Scholl, Mr. Lucas, and then the one that originally holds the position right now.
One could be a Fairfield Bay, and one could be a Shirley, so to speak. Okay.
Yeah.
When you speak Shirley all the time for Fairfield Bay, so I'm trying to understand about Fairfield Bay.
I think so. Everybody in the whole co-op can vote for that district, for that position.
Yes.
These positions are in District 5, 1 and 2.
Yes, it just so happens that both open positions that are coming up, yes, they are in the same district.
Everybody.
Yes, vote, 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 and vote. Do not just send in your sheet of paper that says, let them vote for you, because we know what that's gonna be. And if change is what we want, resolution and improvement, we are going to have to do it ourselves.
You have to live in District 5.
Yes, you have to live the specific district that you're running for. You have to live within that district in order to run for the board that represents, whether it's 1 or 2 positions that that district has, you do have to live within the district lines.
Do you have to live in that district to sign the petition to get these men on the ballot?
Yes. Yes, you do. The question was if you have to live in the district to be able to sign the petition to get someone added to the ballot, and the answer to that is yes. Yes, you do. I'm sorry.
Are you guys aware of other people running in other districts?
No, just District 5.
Yeah, it's the 2 positions from District 5 are the only ones that are actually up for the voting for this year.
Right, but if we remove the whole board.
Yes, the general intent behind the petition that we have for full board removal would be the board currently as it is. So if we were to get these other 2 positions filled with new individuals, that wouldn't actually be part of the board removal process if that petition were to go through and be approved. So we would have those 2 new ones and then the full election available for the additional board once that removal occurred.
Then my other question, why is not the CEO on that board?
I'm sorry?
Why did the CEO did not get put on that ballot?
We can't necessarily just do a straight petition to remove him. That will be a process. Very good question. She asked why the CEO is not on yes, she asked why he wasn't on the petition to be removed. And the board members are actually the ones that have to follow through the correct process and remove the CEO then. So, and that's why it's so important that we have board members that are actually making decisions based on what we want as the members and not just doing whatever floats the boat, for lack of better terms. So,
The board members aren't, I guess they don't have terms. They're just reappointed and nobody votes for them. They stay there forever.
They have 5-year terms.
Are they termed?
They have 5-year terms.
yes, 5 year, he asked about term limits on board members and that's 5 years.
So these guys that you're running against right now, they can't win again unless they, right? So if you're replacing the guy that's there right now, or lady that's there right now, 5 years.
But yeah, let me explain. They'll be appointed for the 5 years, but they can reappoint for the next 5. I'm sorry, that, I think I probably had that. But yes, so if they run 5 and finish that, they can rerun, do 5 more. Yes. And that is actually one of the things that, I'll go off record and give you my opinion. I think term limits need to be, it's like the president, you get 2 4-year terms, right? I think the board needs to have terms, to where it's not 5 years, run again and go again for 5 more.
Public meetings, have meetings public.
Yes, and that will be one of the things, if we're able to get a new board in place, we can change the bylaws to where we hold them accountable. We can make it to where every board meeting is a publicly open meeting. Because after all, they are speaking on the public's behalf, but how do we really know what they're saying? If nobody's in there to actually hear it, we don't really know what the decisions are that's being made. We don't know what they're saying. So that would be up to the new board to actually update and correct and improve the existing bylaws of the board.
I haven't heard anyone who represents me say anything about grade increases. That's supposedly is our board. So it tells me they don't have to say anything, they're not gonna say anything.
Yes.
It seems like they would be the one instead of the CFO or the guy who's in charge. It seems like they would also be out speaking about this as well.
Yes, well, and that's,
I think his name's Mr. Herman, but I have not heard from him say anything, unless I'm just missing it.
yeah, long story short, what he's saying is he's pretty much left in the dark about a lot of things, the rate increases and all that kind of stuff. And that right there, like several of these guys have mentioned up here, transparency. That's one thing that needs to be absolutely required is full transparency. Because if we own it, do we not have the right to know about it? That's where I'm at. If I own it, you better bet. I need to know all about it. I got people you can ask. I'm a very detailed person. I'm a nosy person. Probably to a fault sometimes, but we won't discuss that. So, yes, try. I ain't on the board. I'm just the one behind the mic. Yes, ma'am.
If someone wants to run for the board, they probably
One of the methods that I know with Mr. Cook, it's the process like we've stated with the petition to actually have him added. And the other one, Lonnie, help me with my wording, Mr. Scholl, because he has, he was recommended, who was it that recommended you? That said they would recommend you for the board? I want to make sure I get my words right and not completely.
There are 9 commissioners whose job is to recommend people for the board.
Commissioners, that's the word I was looking for. Yes, you can be recommended by a commissioner.
You don't need the 100 signatures, that's one way of doing it, but you still have to be recommended by, the commissioners, nominated in order to run. Now, so far, none of us in this building, have been nominated to run for the board, because they haven't met yet. We're just out here because, we wanna get ahead of it, because it's a pretty slow process, and I'm telling you, if you want the electric company to tell you what it is, good luck.
Who are the commissioners?
Well, I have to look for 9 of them. they sent them in the mail. Of the 9, I got it right here, got the mail from them, 9 of them. It's the elected cooperative Clinton, Arkansas nominating committee for 2025. Has 9 people on there. Peggy Oaks part of the one y'all know the most. Of the 9, only 4 of them had the correct phone number. And I had to go relatives and just look Gary Bradley and his wife, kinfolk, find the rest of them. Some of them I never found. 2 of them told me to shut up and go away because they don't know anything about being on the board of commissioners and please let the electric company know. That's why it's such a hard process.
Well, there's that.
The other thing is, the commissioner for the committee has received letters saying that to be nominated, you must apply for the position to an application process that does not exist with Petit. They do not have an application for being a board member. Although the letter to the folks that make the nomination have a letter saying you must apply to be nominated.
Yeah.
And this election is in 2 months?
Yes.
Yes.
You'll
It's in May.
It's May.
About the chicanery.
Well, I can't say that, I can only say what I have here, which is hard.
Yes, the vote that, we've been referring to tonight, it will be in May.
And where we're.
Or May,
You'll get agreement-
that's when the count's supposed to be
You'll
in,
get agreement.
or the votes turn in.
Of all the people that are currently in the position, and the people that are running to vote them out of position. 80% of the time, I'll put myself in that position, guess what? We vote for the incumbent because we don't know any better. And that's why you got people been there for 30 years. We do it. Nobody else but us do it.
So we need to be more vocal about getting them gone.
Yes, we trusted them blindly, is what that amounts to. We gave a lot of trust in a blind fashion, and now that they've given us reason not to trust them, this is where it's time. We have to get up, we have to make movement, we have to do something. We have to protect ourselves, our family, our loved ones, our community. And this is hopefully the first step in moving forward that process.
It is a monopoly process. We've got some of the board members at Petit are on the water board and they're on the hospital board.
Yep.
Okay?
And Petit board,
Yeah, and Petit board.
and a few
But you know
other,
what? We all vote for that.
Yep.
but they were never on the ballot.
Well, they're on the ballot.
I've never seen a few of them not on the
Well,
ballot.
everybody, they all, somebody's gotta take part. Now, another thing, you talk about the articles for the corporation. The rule is that the voting for the committee and for the, board of directors is done in secret. Big capital letters, secret. Nobody knows how the votes are counted or who actually won. Now, in this day and age, you tell me where any politician can get away with, let's do a secret ballot.
That's why it's important that instead of just filling information in and sending it in, letting them vote on your behalf, or just not showing up, that's why we're trying to make sure everybody knows showing up for this vote in May is very crucial for the committee, the board, the members, all of it, to make sure that change can happen.
But if you vote for Lucas Cook for show, you'll get a good deal. Okay?
We also have to make sure if we remove everyone, that we have people willing to do it. Right.
Yes, and that is something that we will be seeking.
Because a lot of what I find is even now, when you talk about we're voting the same people in over and over again, it's because it's the only name there.
Right. So we know what we don't want for the board now. So this right here is going to be a perfect opportunity for some of those that may kind of be laying low. Like Mr. Cook said earlier, this was not on his, what'd you say, your bingo card for this year. but he's willing to do it. We kind of picked him up and shined him up and said, hey, we think we need you to go out front and center. We think you would be a perfect candidate for this. We're gonna have to do some of that because we all have people probably that come to mind that they would be a great person to fill a board role. So that is absolutely something that we will need, your voice, your help, your expertise, all those types of things when it comes to getting the board replaced. Yes, getting them out, but also making sure the replacements are absolutely 110% different.
First question here, Mr. Gary Bradley.
How would we go about getting a two-term limit put on the board?
That's gonna be based on the board that is there, and they have to actually go through the process. The bylaws would have to be changed to make sure that there's a set limit. And it's, like I said earlier, it's not gonna be run 2 years, and then run 2 more years, and then run 2 more years. So it will have to be very specific. We will need legal counsel when these types of things are written up, make sure our verbiage is correct. And so,
I didn't say 2 years, 2 terms, like 5 years, 10 years,
okay, so whatever kind of year term, whatever, it's more or less just to keep it from them being repetitive. Serving, 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 and serving. So like you say, these 30, 40-year board members, that way we won't have that happen again. Yes, ma'am.
The esteemed gentleman who is running, brought up 2 red flags that really stood out for me.
Okay.
The voting in secret, if this is a public-owned, cooperative, I'm not really understanding how something could be, all right? And the second was the commissioners who are non-existent. So I'm just saying that maybe you can pass this over to the esteemed Esquire on the stage, that perhaps this would be something else that might need to be looked into, because we don't know who any of these commissioners actually are.
Right.
If they're non-existent.
But it's pretty secret, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
But if the cooperative is owned by the community members,
I used to think that too. I'm telling you, it's like, it's a good idea to get rid of the board. I support that 100%. But Mr. Dixon, he's gonna tell you that all those board members were elected under the fair system that was in place at the time they were elected. And as soon as you try to vote them out, they're gonna lawyer up and you're not gonna get them out of office where they want to go. That's my
no, you
opinion.
vote them out of the office.
That's my opinion.
Now, there's a process that we can follow. I mean,
Yeah.
and whatever that we have to do that, I mean, we're willing to stick in there. We're willing to get that done.
It's hard, I can say that.
It is a hard process. It's a long process. There's a lot of legwork that goes behind it. So,
If he was stirring up a lawyer, I apologize for that.
No, I just wanted to point out that there are processes. One, to make these changes you're talking about, one is through the board. The board can make a motion to amend the bylaws, right? There's also a process where the membership can make a proposal, a motion, propose something to the board. It can be voted on, right? We intend to actually do a few of those things for the very next meeting, all right? You're talking about replacing, some lady over here asked about who are we gonna put on the board? Well, the current members, the board members have the right to fill the vacancies as they come open, right? So if we remove the board, but nominate 2 additional people, right, 2 new ones, they'll have the right to fill those vacancies, right? There's a process behind all this in the bylaws, all right? It's not easy to read. It looks like it's probably 30, 40, 50 years old. Very antiquated language, some of that, but some of it is very, very clear and present. There's processes here. There's deadlines, which have to follow the processes. If you don't follow the bylaws, they're gonna lawyer up and try to kick it out. But we're gonna try to do that and make sure we cover our rear every way possible.
Don't show our cards.
Yeah.
The Constitution bylaws on page 23 of last month's election magazine. You read it. You're there. Rural Arkansas. I'm sorry.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, well, again, we appreciate you guys coming out, your time, and again, just make sure you use your voice. We don't want to let this die down, okay? So, thank you all. You all stay safe on your way out.
Okay.